And welcome back to, excuse me, too much Christmas cheer. Welcome back to eBEFOREi Video Reviews. Today I'm taking a look at a Takara import. That's right, this came from Japan, and this is Armor Knight Optimus Prime. It's part of the Movie Advanced series by Takara, and it's really meant to be, their version of the Age of Extinction figures, but typical of Takara, they fancied it up a little bit, actually quite a bit on this one. And in this case, actually changed the molding a bit to make it more movie accurate, to look like Optimus Prime from Age of Extinction. Before we take a real close look at this figure, why is there a shark on here? Honestly, kids! Someone put Skybite up here. I kind of like that, actually. Okay, that's awesome. Let's take good job, kids. Anyway, so this is I got a couple of primes here, about 4 of them to be exact, and we have the original first edition version of Age of Extinction Prime, which was a shell-ish former. He's Shelly. His name is Shelly, and there's his face in there, his whole body. But I like this figure pretty well. Then we had this guy, Yellow Windows Ops. This was the official leader class Optimus Prime, and this one, smaller than first edition, but I think arguably a better figure than first edition Prime. There's a bit more transformation than just Shelly, so there was this one. Then we had this Target exclusive first edition. I like this a lot. This is based off of Shelly Prime as well. You see the body in there. But the colors, the Armor Knight version of Prime, again, this was really cool. So what we're looking at now, as I make a mess, is this guy right here. And this is the Takara version Armor Knight Optimus Prime. This guy right here is really meant to more closely just look like movie Prime. So the question is going to be, did they pull it off? Did the molding help? Are the colors that much better? We're going to take our time and compare this with the original Leader Class Prime. Take a real close comparison look at the two of them and see if this is worth your time and money to import it into your country of wherever you live. So one thing you'll notice right off the bat is the shields are different. This is the new shield. Now I can't say whether this more closely resembles the shield that we saw in the movie. Maybe? I don't remember the shield in the movie. That's just me. And this is the one that the original Leader Class Prime came with. So you can see there's a pretty big difference there. I don't love the orange. That's me. So if I had to choose between these two, I probably would pick this. But, it's fine. It looks all right. You have a kind of a, not really well, it's a little translucent. See my finger through there. So this is the shield, and it really just looks like this bit on the inside, and then you've got these like kind of flaming bits coming out. So cool, I guess, but that's the shield. Now, Leader Class Prime came with this sword right here, this translucent yellow beauty, if that's what you want to call it. The new version comes with a more movie-accurate look, but why is it orange? Flaming sword, I guess? I don't know how well my camera picks up the color, because I've got the... Let me see if I can adjust the lights a little bit here. So it's... When I say it's orange, it's freaking orange. It's very, very orange. So it's good. It looks a little better as far as the way this bit looks than this one. I do like the in-plastic molding. I mean, it really looks nice when you get that up close. So that was something that was lacking, in this one. It was just, there wasn't really much there. It's kind of ribbed, so to speak. But this one has a much nicer in plastic all the way around. But again, the colors just don't make a lot of sense to me. But it is what it is. All right, anyway. One thing I think you'll notice off the bat is the fact that the color red is really a different color between these two. I want to get real close to the camera here. This is a bit more of a kind of a darker or more subdued red in the flames than this one right here. So this one, it's... I can't tell if the blue might be a slightly different color as well, but definitely changes here. Now, I will tell you that on the original leader class, you had an Autobot symbol right there. And on the Takara version, you get no such thing. So there's no Autobot symbol on the side of this vehicle, and you get a little bit different color in the paint. The flames extend much longer on the Takara version. As I move this one out of the way, you can see that here they stop about midway through, and here they go all the way back. So that's something to look at right there. You also have paint, more flames right there on the top of the hubcap. You don't have that on the original leader class. All right, you do have the trailer hitches painted on both, but you do get the kind of silver chrome look inside the wheels. The original version is just gray dull plastic. There's the W for the truck brand. It's I forgot the name. Please tell me in comments. But there's the W. Is it Western Star? Western something? Anyway, looking from the back, here you've got a real nice painted silver right here. That looks really nice. And here again is just gray plastic, unpainted. Again, this being the new version. Also, glaringly obvious on the back, you have this painted silver as well. Not in the back here. They both do have rubber tires, which is cool. So that's pretty much your side-by-side. Now, also look in the front here, and you see you've got paint underneath, kind of in that grill vent, and you don't have that here. That's painted red, but this one's real nice silver distinguishing the two. So that's pretty cool. Going to the front of the vehicle, the first edition Prime had this blue stripe on top of the chrome. The original leader class did not, so they bought it back here for the Takara version. That's what I'm talking about. The big difference in size here between Shelly and the other two. But you got that right there. You got it back here. You didn't have it on the original leader class release. All right, so we've thoroughly walked you through the differences between the two vehicles. Let's go ahead and get them transformed and look at the really big differences in robot mode. All right, so to get them transformed, the first thing you want to do is just kind of reach up here and dislodge that tab and kind of lift that out of the way. Then you want to come into the sides and pull that down like that. Do the same thing on the other side. Just kind of dislodge that whole section. Next, you want to come under here and dislodge that tab. Do the same thing on the other side, rinse and repeat. Then you want to take this whole piece right here and you want to move it just like that. Next, you want to come down to the tire section and you want to just push this down like that to shrink it down a bit. Want to come around to the side. Here's where things get interesting, and we'll do some good comparisons shortly. You've got a whole new kind of re-engineered arm there. But you want to go ahead and take that arm down like that. You can go ahead and pull it out to the side, and you kind of see the body laying up in here. Do the same thing on the other side. Just get that out like that. At this point, you can separate the top, and you can kind of butterfly those out like that. Now you can come around to the front. The best thing is just to take your thumb in your hand and just pry these apart. Be careful. Always be careful not to break your toys. And you want to lift this bit up like that. Do the same thing on the other side. You can go ahead and pull these down. Nice ratchet joints there. You want to take this whole piece. You want to turn it like that. And you fold these things onto the back of themselves like that. You want to reach underneath, pull the feet out like that, spin the wheels around. You want to flip down the waist piece, and you want to fold these bits in so that kind of sticks back underneath the leg. That comes down, kind of forms these little hip pieces like that. To get a head reveal, and I like to take these things right here and kind of push them back into his shoulders. Head reveal, you're going to take this new chest, push it down. Oh, look at that. The head looks deformed. Why? Get to that in a minute. Let's push that back down. And at this point, you're ready to stand him up, pose him up, and here are the two primes side by side, both in their robot mode. Significant differences here. I mean, the whole chest is completely been redesigned. I mean, this bit right here actually looks like doors, complete with door handles. This one has the same plastic underneath, but this part is completely different. The torso is completely different, as you can see between the two. You have differences here in the crotch cover. I don't know what you call it, but you've got differences there. Major differences in the head sculpt and just the colors and functionality, which we'll get to shortly. Look at the hands, the sculpts of the hands. This has that armor like we saw in the movie. The original leader did not have that. Also, he had a weird kind of skeleton-looking hand. Again, gone, with more with the armor right there. You also have, are you ready for this? Wrist swivel! Anyway, he's got wrist swivel here. Did not have that on the first version of this leader class Prime. Getting into the legs, they look identical, except this one's painted very nice. And getting down to the bottom of the legs, feet difference. He doesn't have that weird robot hollow bits on the sides foot. He's got real feet. It's kind of cool. So that's there as well. And of course, paint just everywhere. Look at the kneecaps are painted. Silver. I mean, just, Autobot symbol in the middle. So we lacked it on the truck. But this version of Optimus Prime isn't trying to announce to the world that he was an Autobot. He was in hiding. And so anyway, he's got that very small Autobot symbol there. Whereas on this version, he really had one on the side on his hip. Didn't work out too well. So big differences there. Now, just like the original version, this Prime does have thumb articulation. You can move that thumb so he can grab his weapon and kind of snap it in place, which is pretty neat. The head is still on a ball joint, so you can look up and down and all around, as much as the plastic will let you do it. Everything else, articulation-wise, is the same. You've got the ratchets there, real loud clicky ratchets in the shoulder, same in the elbow. I already talked about the wrists. The waist does swivel, as you saw in Transformation, but because of the plastic hip bits, you can get some swivel, but there's a lot of stuff in the way. So you can do it, but just know that there's stuff in the way. Dual joint right there in the hip. You do get knee swivel, bends at the knee as well, so there's plenty of articulation to be had, and you do have some foot swivel as well. He also can hold his sword in a way that's similar to the movie, and we'll get to that in a minute. Now the face, you see that he's masked, right? If you're one of the 3 people that like this mask off, no, there's more than 3, but if you like that mask off, they've actually provided a way for you to do that with the head sculpt that we see right here, and it's a relatively simple process. All you do is you get your thumb up underneath the chin, and you lift this plate up, and he's creepy McNo-Face, which is weird, very strange. Anyway, from there, underneath, you have a little swivel, a little screw joint right there, and you just turn it. You turn the whole thing, and when you do that, you expose a mouthed version of Prime. I find that it helps if you lift that all the way up, so don't do what I just did. Lift it all the way up, then it's much easier. There you go. You just turn it like that. Get it nice and even, so that when you bring it back down, a la peanut butter sandwich, you have a mouthed Prime. There he is. He's got his lips. Nothing like an Optimus Prime set of lips. Very good eye paint, I should mention. No light piping, especially because of the gimmick, but the eyes look great there. So you have a mouthed Prime ready for action. So we're at that point of the review where I have to let you know whether or not I recommend this figure or not. If you did not like this mold and you thought the transformation was cheap and you didn't like this bit on the back, you're probably not going to love this one either, although I think you might like him a little bit more than this. If you like this mold like I did, this only brings it even further to the forefront as a better figure overall. Between the added faceplate that you can change out, especially the armor in these arms, the fact that he can even hold his sword like this due to the wrist articulation, the additional paint, silver painted everywhere, the nice touches on the knees, completely redesigned chest, this is the guy to get. Now the name of this figure, in the event that you want to order it, is Armor Knight Optimus Prime. It's AD-31. So look for AD-31 as a Japanese import. And again, if you like this figure and you think that he's worth the money, you find a good deal on it, you decide that this guy is for you, I am positive that you will not be disappointed. Anyway, thank you again so much. I hope this review helped at least a few of you. And I appreciate you watching eBEFOREi video reviews. The best way you can support my channel, and I mean the best way, is to hit subscribe if you're not a subscriber and tell your friends about me. Because if you want me to continue to be at the forefront, like you've done already, of video reviews, keep up the work and help me out. And in return, well, what will I do for you? Well, keep reviewing things. Your support is greatly appreciated. Spread the word, hit subscribe, look for me on social media. Here's Facebook and Twitter and the group that I'm in, which, by the way, great discussion every day. Feel free to subscribe to that group. I'll personally add you in. It's a private group, so you won't spam your friends and family with talk of Transformers. And on that note, I'm out. eBEFOREi video reviews signing off. Until next time, see you then.